Hello, Miss Wilson. It's nice to finally be able to sit down with you so that our subscribers can get to know you.
It's nice to be sitting down with you as well.
We have a few questions. What activities do you do with the children, and what is your typical day like?
Okay, so a typical day for me starts at about, I would say about 5:30 a.m. I get up, get myself ready, come downstairs, and I have a routine that I follow, which is just following up, making sure that everything is clean, that the sign-in sheets are ready to go, making sure that we have the foods taken out for the day that the children are going to eat. And then I kind of start my day off prepping those things before the children come in.
Okay? How do you handle discipline or behavioral problems? For instance, how do you handle biting, hitting, or bullying situations?
Okay, so each situation is different. It depends on the child. It depends on what's going on at that time. So, for instance, if we have a child, two children that are fighting or going back and forth over a toy, and the child reaches out and hits that child, that's a really easy way to kind of eliminate those problems in the future. So because you see it happening at that time, I can take the child, show the other child empathy, and let this child know that that's not nice, that he hurt the other child. So there are all different types of instances. Some children are what I like to call serial biters. And this type of child is a little bit more difficult to deal with because you have to figure out what is causing this child to do this. And so each situation is different. Each situation involves parents and myself working together to try to make sure that these issues don't happen on an ongoing basis.
Okay. Are parents allowed to visit your program anytime throughout the day?
Absolutely. I absolutely encourage parents to come in unannounced when we don't know that they're coming, so that they can see what's going on when they are not there. And an example of that, I often tell parents, sometimes walk out the door. If you're not working that day, walk out, go to the store, get yourself a bagel and coffee, and come back 15 to 20 minutes later. That way you'll get a feel of what is actually going on in the day, because no one is expecting a parent to come back. Also, I suggest parents come by right before mealtime is served. That way they know that the program is actually serving the children what they say they're serving them.
How and how often do you sanitize the toys and materials used by the children?
We sanitize every day, especially during the winter season when children have colds and coughs. So we have a ritual where we actually sanitize certain items certain days of the week. However, when the season is really bad and we have a lot of colds, we are known to be bleaching blocks at any given time. If a child puts a toy in their mouth or puts it in their facial area, we instantly take that toy from the program and place it in the kitchen in the sink, so that it can be washed and disinfected properly. Our door handles, everything that the parents touch, from our iPad to our doorknobs to the phone that we use to the remote control that we use for the TV. So we disinfect on a daily basis.
Okay, good. How do you communicate with the parents, and what's your relationship like with them?
I believe that I have a really good relationship with my parents. I am a firm believer in communication. I often meet the parents in the morning and in the afternoon, and I usually try to give them an idea of what the child's day was like. I don't do it every single day, but I do it a few times during the week. We communicate by text, by phone, by our Hi Mama app. So we communicate in different ways. Some of the parents, we have a notebook that we communicate using that notebook. So depending on the parent, depending on their rituals and how busy their day is, whatever means of communication works is what I use.
Okay. How long have you been providing childcare?
Well, This is 30 years. November 2018 made 30 years that I've been doing child care. Happily doing child care.
What made you want to open your own child care business?
I opened my own child care business unintentionally. It wasn't my career path. However, I gave birth to my son, and I had just gotten a promotion at the company that I was working for, and I just had this gut-wrenching feeling every time I left my son with this daycare provider. And she wasn't a bad person. There was nothing wrong with the care that she gave to my son, but it was not up to my standards, and I knew that I could offer my son more. But I had to have a form of income to continue to help support my son. So I figured I'd give daycare child care a try, and here I am.
Okay. What is your registration process?
My registration process involves, first meet is usually a phone call. And then I ask a parent to come in and view our space so that they will know what the space looks like, smells like, and the atmosphere. I often, if a parent can accommodate it, I ask the parents to come in when the children are there, because I like them to get a feel of the atmosphere, to see whether the children there are happy, what does the environment feel like, what does it smell like, you know. So I do that first, and then I have you come back and we do a sit down where we go through the policies and procedures of the program. And at that moment, I hand you a packet, and we set up a date, and we kind of take it from there.
Okay. I'm sure everybody wants to know, what sets your program apart from the rest of them?
That's a good question. I believe the fact that I genuinely love what I do. I think that the fact that I provide structure, a structured environment, which makes some of the parents' lives a little easier. I think the fact that I teach the children, because teaching is a big part of my program. So I think the fact that we feed the children nutritiously sound meals, and I think it's just the overall atmosphere and feeling that my program provides.
Okay, and last but not least, what advice would you give to someone starting their own childcare business?
I would advise you to think deep and hard and reach into your soul and know that you're doing this because you love working with children, because you want to make a difference. Because working with children, I believe, is the most satisfying job there is, besides being a parent. I believe that you need to make sure that you can be consistent, structured, organized, and love the children, but also have the ability to communicate and deal well with others.
Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that concludes this video. You can comment, like, share, and subscribe. Press the notification bell so that every time we post notifications, you can get them.
Thank you.